Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday, June the 29th. We are almost in July. Can you believe it? July is just upon us. I've got a co-host joining me this morning, Dr. Tony Rayo, who is our operations manager here at HCCTV, but also one of the co-hosts at Up to the Minute. Good morning to you, Tony. You might want to unmute your mic. There we go.
Sorry about that. Good morning. Good morning.
Tony, before we get started, we're going to update you a bit. We've got Dr. John Swann, who's one of our guests. He's going to be the second segment in our show. And then we're going to kick off with our cooking segment. So you'll be interviewing Dr. Swann today. So just want to give you a heads up on that. You want to remind people about our social media and where they can follow us?
Oh, yes. Don't forget that we are on Facebook. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Flickr, we're on all those things. And look for us by going to Houston Community College District and just follow us there.
That's right. Look for us there and make sure. By the way, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. So we're live on both platforms this morning and for this show. So you can watch us in two locations, Facebook or live on our YouTube channel. All right, let's get to the show. Tony, stand by. We'll be checking with you in just a few moments. Dr. John Swann is the coordinator at the West Houston Institute. He's joining us this morning. Good morning, Dr. Swann.
Morning.
We're looking forward to talking with you and hearing more about what's going on at the West Houston Institute. I imagine you guys are ready to open up again.
We are. In fact, we've already opened up to partial capacity, but we're definitely ready to get everything fully up and active.
All right, Tony will be talking with you in a few moments, so please stand by. Okay, Tuesdays is Culinary Tuesday. Of course, you know we have a great culinary program at HCC. We'll have the link to it in our social media post if you are interested in becoming one of our students. If you're interested in what our students do after they graduate, well, they can become a chef. Like we've got Benchawan Painter, who is also known as Chef G. She is the co-owner and executive chef of Street to Kitchen. She's our Culinary Tuesday guest. Good morning, Doctor, or I should say Chef G. How are you?
Good. How are you?
First off, let's talk about your restaurant. What is the concept behind it?
So the concept behind it, we try to just cook the food like the way I'm eating. I cook for myself and the way I'm grow up, I keep the taste exactly. I'm grow up and use the local ingredient in Houston.
Now, I'm reading that you grew up in North Central Thailand. Is the cooking over there or the dishes, are they regionally influenced? Meaning, do you have different versions of foods around the country?
Well, in Thailand, you know, different parts of the food is different. And I'm standing to the big river, so we eat a lot of fresh like fish, you know, and all the stuff in the liver. And we really famous for the curry.
Curry is one of my favorites. Now, what are some examples how you've, or I should say how Thai food has westernized since it's become very popular here in the States?
So for our curry in here, I have no idea, like, you know.
Is your curry different than other curries?
Yes, our curry pit, we make our curry pit in the house. So no more can or anything. Everything is fresh.
Okay, so tell us what do you have? Maybe from what I understand, you don't westernize your food. It's very traditional Thai food. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
Yes. So if you come in here, you ask for chicken pad Thai, you're never gonna get it here because I never see it when I grow up. Only dry shrimp and a little bit more fancy. You get like a little bit freshwater shrimp. Never have pad Thai when I grow up, so you're never gonna get it from here.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about what you've got going today. Are you going to make a dish for us?
So today we're gonna make a stir-fried Thai basil, or in Thailand we call pad kapao. So the basil, the Thai basil, you can see this is the Thai basil. It go up, it's different than normally people here call the Thai basil. This one is more spicier.
Yeah, it looks a lot different.
Spicier.
Yeah.
So this is the basil for Thailand.
Can you find that here in groceries in the U.S.? Do you have to go to a specific place?
You have to go to the farmer who grow it only.
Okay, so you source that. Do you source it locally?
Yeah, we deal with the farmer who grows it from us. That's why we get it.
Okay, so what do you do with the basil? Maybe you can get started with the dish, and I'll go ahead and ask you a few more questions.
Okay.
Now, the restaurant is called Street to Kitchen. Where is it located?
So we on the second wall on 6501 Helleberg Boulevard.
And what is your most popular dish that you serve there?
Wow, it's a lot of things. So a lot of people come here and need to be it's garlic side pancake. It's like a little bit doughy inside and crispy outside. So if you come here, you always have to get that.
Okay, and what are you sauteing right there? What is that? Is that beef?
This is the ground pork.
Ground pork, okay.
Yeah, this is good for ground pork, and you have to make sure you have the spiciness good enough. So it's a lot chili in there. And this needs to be spicy. And this is our stir-fry sauce.
Did you add a little bit of garlic in there? Is that what you were adding along with the chili sauce?
Yeah, fresh garlic and a fresh Thai chili.
Okay. And with pork, obviously you have to cook it a little bit longer than you would beef. Is that correct?
Yeah, but this one is ground, so it's really easy to cook. This is almost the same with the hamburger here. You know, everybody in Thailand always eat this dish. If you don't know what to thinking about, you order this dish and good to go.
So we got that going. You've got pork, you've got some chilies, you got some garlic. Did you put a little bit of water in there, or was that vinegar?
Oh, just water.
A little bit of water. Okay, so you got a little bit of saute going there.
Yeah. And this one is gonna have Thai basil, and this long green bean, we get that from the same farmer too. It's really fresh, like you see, the color is really nice.
And you mentioned the Thai basil is spicier than American basil that we would find.
Yeah, correct? This one's spicier. It have really different smell and different taste. This one more spicy and get really a good smell on it.
Okay.
Okay, and now I'm going to put the green bean, Thai basil, and some color chili.
What's the red in there? Is that chilies?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a pretty spicy dish, right?
Yeah, they need to be spicy.
Awesome. I like spicy stuff.
When you come here, if you ask for the spicy, you will get it.
And you said so if somebody likes a certain level of spice, you guys can make the food accordingly, make it not as spicy or spicier if you like it real spicy?
Yeah, we have mild, medium, and Thai spicy. When you ask for Thai spicy, it means mild spicy. So that is really spicy. And some days we cannot cut the spicy out. We recommend you to eat something out.
And, I'm reading as well, on your dishes, you've been nominated for some TasteMaker Awards through CultureMap. Is that correct?
Yes. We have the best new restaurant and the chef of...
The Rising Star Chef of the Year?
Yes.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah. How does it feel, though? How long have you been doing this restaurant thing on your own?
So we do the restaurant in this location almost a year now. On August, going to be our 1 year anniversary.
That is great. And already up for some awards. Wonderful. So what goes with this dish? You plate it up. Do you serve it with a jasmine rice, or what do you serve with this type of dish?
Yes. So this is to go with jasmine rice, and we're going to have a Thai style fried egg. Go with it. So it's really
you got an egg
heat.
too.
Yeah, really high heat. Make sure the oil is really hot. So the Thai style fried egg is the egg white is crunchy, but the egg yolk still running.
Okay.
So
I don't think I've seen an egg in Thai food. Is that something that's that you use a lot? I mean, I love having an egg on Asian influenced food, but is this traditional with yours?
Oh yeah, this dish always come with egg. We eat a lot of fried egg in Thailand.
Oh, that's great.
what does this look like? And
so I'm also hearing that if someone goes to your restaurant, you guys don't use broccoli or bell peppers as well, right? Because that's not authentic.
Yeah, we don't really have it in Thailand at all.
So everything there is very authentic as to what you get in Thailand.
Yeah, like I said, what we eat for the way I'm cooked for myself, and that's the way I'm cooked for here.
That looks awesome there. Incredible. Incredible. And what is this dish called?
Pad Kapao, or in here we call stir-fried Thai basil.
Incredible. Chef, we appreciate you joining us. Chef G, Benchawan Painter. She's the co-owner and executive chef of Street to Kitchen. They're in the 2nd Ward. Make sure you check them out. Thank you for being here this morning. That dish looks incredible.
Thank you. And thank you, Cook, to just give us this chance.
We will see you in person next time. Thank you very much, Chef.
Soon, I will come. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So Dr. Tony Rayo, that looks really good, Dr. Tony.
Woo! I'm hungry.
I know. Good to start our morning this way. In the future, what we're going to do is we're going to send Frank Cooper out to these locations in the near future, and he'll do a live report out there, and he'll actually be tasting the food for us. So when they do a dish like this, we're going to ask them to make it as spicy as they can, and then we're going to have, so that's what we're going to be doing, Frank. Frank's going to love it.
I like that.
All right, Dr. Tony, you've got a special guest you're going to talk to.
Yes, we have. He is Dr. John Swann, and he is from the West Houston Institute. Welcome, Dr. Swann.
Thank you, Tony. It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about this, the WHI, the West Houston Institute. I know that we do a lot of special things there. It's got a special meeting place and innovative learning places there. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the West Houston Institute is the Strategic Innovation Center for Houston Community College. And our vision, because there's no reason to think small, is to reimagine, reinvent higher education. And kind of the way we approach that is this idea that we're no longer in the industrial age. And so why should we do education the same way they did in the industrial age? Our industrial model should reflect not just where we are now, but where we're going. Mm-hmm. And so the way that we foster this innovation, when we say strategic innovation, it's because the overall intention is to change our institution as a whole. So what we do is we work with faculty and staff, because we don't just need to innovate what goes on in the classrooms, but the entire approach to education. And we serve as both an incubator, where we will facilitate and allow innovation at the smaller scale in classrooms or in departments. And then we accelerate. We find a way to facilitate how to scale those innovations out through the rest of the system.
So what you're doing is, this is a place to learn, but it also is a place for faculty to learn how to expand on ways to teach. Is that also true?
Yes, most of our programs involve some element of looking at the teaching process different. We're built up around a different approach. We have 3 approaches that we want to integrate as much as possible in the different initiatives we do. So we have communities of practice, which is kind of that umbrella approach that we have, where we get collaborative networks to develop things, not just within a discipline, but across disciplines, and even across institutions, from different colleges or with community partners or whatever else. And then we use challenge-based learning, where we look for wicked problems, those problems that don't have a simple cause or a simple solution, because those are the ones that we're going to encounter in the real world. Those are the global problems that we encounter. And that's also where we intersect these different disciplines together, because that's where we need all the disciplines coming together to provide solutions, because there's so many problems. And as far as the micro-credentialing piece that we emphasize goes, is the fact that we need a place for traditional methods and traditional grading, but at the same time, we need to supplement those with demonstrable skill assessments, with flexible delivery models, and just having these indicators of proficiency that the corporate world's already adopted. So at that point, we're just catching up with them a bit.
And you mentioned the challenge-based learning and talking about different departments coming together. I know recently we had something with the art car parade where we had the art department and we had the automotive department and welding and so many departments working together on one project. Tell us how that works.
Well, that's really the goal for almost everything we do, is to have things that's one example of what we do. And in the case of the art car, that was Dr. Kurt Ewan's idea, I believe, to have that artist in residence in place. Mm-hmm. And art's a great way to do that, because especially with, we're doing something like art car, it naturally draws so many things in. And really, that's kind of what we like to do all around. We do a number of interdisciplinary projects. We have one going on right now, Back to the Food Church, that actually came from one of the faculty, was in conversation with our staff. And from that conversation came this outgrowth of using one item, in this case, food, which is ubiquitous. We all need it and we all want it. And then inviting faculty from all the disciplines together to address something about food in a way that utilizes all their disciplines. So we'll address from the science perspective, we'll talk about the nutritional aspects, from historical perspective, why certain foods are in certain cultures, sociological perspective. And we also incorporate with that, we've gotten culinary advice, obviously, and even technology. Technology has a massive impact on food. So all of these different perspectives, when they're put together, can approach a single subject and show just how related all the disciplines are and how all the disciplines fuel and inform one another. So instead of teaching our students 5 different disciplines, we're teaching them about this challenge or this study, and it's reflecting those 5 different disciplines.
I think that's wonderful. I mean, it used to be everybody was in their own silo, but now you open it up and you see how one discipline reflects on another, and it takes a community, you might say, to make things work.
Yeah, and we are very anti-silo here at WHI. Yes. And since we had the cooking segment right before, I use an example from that. I can cook the chicken or the pork and the herbs and the rice separate and eat them separate, and they might taste good. But when you combine them, that's when you really get that tasty dish. And we want a tasty dish of education, I guess.
So how can faculty connect with you guys and use this wonderful place?
Well, the nice thing about it is we encourage faculty connections. Like I said, this Back to the Future came from faculty. So any member of the WHI staff is happy to help. So all a faculty member has to do is approach the person in their area. If somebody wants to integrate some kind of a making aspect into their course as a alternate assessment, then they could just approach our Ideas Studio. If somebody's wanting to understand more about some digital fluency or how to incorporate some tech tools into their class, they might approach our learning commons and talk to our librarian. If in doubt, they can just send me an email and I can make sure I plug them in with the right people to get them going in the right direction.
So you also teach, in addition to coordinating all this wonderful stuff, you also teach. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have a firm philosophy, and I think I've shared it with other people, and luckily we have like-minded people here at WHI for this, that every HCC employee, whether you are faculty or you are staff, needs to consider themselves to be an educator, whether you are in a classroom teaching or not. Myself, I have a passion for teaching, and so I've always enjoyed doing that. So if I'm going to talk the talk. I need to walk the walk. And so I've done adjunct teaching. I've done informal courses. I've done undergraduate courses. I've taught graduate school courses within my discipline at my alma mater. And so for HCC, when the opportunity came up to do a community education course, I reached out and set up a community education course looking at the history surrounding the biblical narrative. The Western civilization has been profoundly shaped by the Hebrew and Christian scriptures. And many people are exposed to those, but I think we can be very myopic and understand what's going on in the larger world around it. We hear of Egypt, but do we understand the Egyptian Empire? And so by connecting those two and giving a broader picture, I think it'll make both the historical account and the biblical narrative much more robust, which incidentally, that connection of history and religion and philosophy and sociology is that interdisciplinary aspect that we like to support here anyway.
Absolutely. Well, this sounds just wonderful. There's all kinds of things we can do with that. Anything else you want to tell us about the many different aspects? I know there's different kind of rooms there that you have.
Hey, Tony, I wanted to throw something out there for Dr. Swann. John, I know you guys have, speaking of the rooms Tony was asking about, you guys have a room where you facilitate large events. And I know we have a producer over there that works with you, and you can do television production in the room and also live streaming. When are you guys going to be back up and running with events? Because I know you hold a number of them out there at the West Houston Institute.
Well, for internal events, we are up and running. In fact, tomorrow they're having the Chancellor's T100 meeting, and that will be held in our auditorium. So we're excited to have that kind of reintroduce us into activity. And then we've got one of the trustees has an event later this summer. As far as external events, those will open up, of course, in the fall, and I think mid-September is the timeline right now, so as long as that doesn't change. But internal events, we are already able to start to accommodate.
Very
incredible. Good. Yeah. Thanks for being here, John.
It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Wonderful talking to you.
Thank you, Tony.
And Tony, as always, with all of our guests, we'll put the links to their, so for the West Houston Institute, we'll put a link in our social media post. And the same with the restaurant, the Chef G that we interviewed earlier, we'll have a link to her restaurant in the social media post. All right, let's get on to our HCC news and announcements. We've got a couple of things to talk about. First off, for those of you interested in a medical career, listen up, because Coleman classes have extended their deadline. So that's right, the deadline has officially been extended for HCC health students. So now is the time to register for Coleman College of Health Sciences. This summer, face-to-face classes will kick off. Smaller classes in social distancing are still intact and going on into the fall. hccs.edu/health. You can find that link in our social media post for the show. And financial aid, Tony, they're returning to campuses as well.
Yes, thinking of getting help. July 10th is the day to remember. Saturday, July 10th from 9 to 1. We have 5 different campuses that you can go to get some face-to-face financial aid help and learn about it. It's at West Loop, Central, East Side, A-Leaf, and North Line. And then you could also contact it through the Zoom lobby. So there are many ways to register, and not only register, but learn how you can get financial aid so you can register for these classes.
Yeah, so you can get all types of information there. You can register in person. You can meet with an advisor. As Tony mentioned, you can talk to financial aid. This is happening across our district, 5 different campuses, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Saturday, July the 10th. Of course, you can register anytime online. You can visit our campuses to meet in person with advisors. You do need to get hold of them ahead of time, but they are meeting with people on a limited basis. They're always available on Zoom. Zoom though. So make sure you do so. Get registered for the fall. If you're going to class in the fall, now is the time to register. Okay, we talked about this yesterday on the show. Community learning is going on, Tony, across the district throughout the month of July.
Yes, we have several things going on. We have what they call the gardening small places, where you learn how to garden about the fall vegetables, because fall is going to be coming up on us very soon, and that's Mondays, July 12th, from 10 to 11:30. And then we have what we call the civic engagement and leadership. That is also something that you can sign up for and learn about how to get involved with the government and get your voice out there. Then it's called Scams of Summer for 50 plus adults. And that's pretty much what it says. It's teaching seniors how to avoid getting scammed, because they seem to be the ones that people want to target, unfortunately. That's Saturday, July 17th from 10 to 11:30. And then Microsoft OneDrive for Business Level 100. That's another fun class to learn about coding and other things, not coding, but to learn about how to use the Microsoft OneDrive, where you can save a whole bunch of things on one area. Friday, July 9th, noon to 1:30. And last but not least is the Beginner's Guide to Arcade Games for Youth. And it's called Make a Clicker Game. So you get to learn how to do that. That's the coding part. And that's July 15th, 10:30 to noon. And all of these things and more you can find by going to hccs.edu/community-learning. And you can learn all kinds of new things.
Okay, an apple a day. Proud of HCC's long-term work with Apple to bring new learning opportunities to our students. HCC Foundation President Karen Schmidt recognized Apple's contributions at a recent HCC Board of Trustees meeting. She said, quote, "We're so grateful to Apple for their support of the HCC Foundation, our students, and the Houston Community College, and we look forward to continuing this partnership in the years to come," said Schmidt. She noted that HCC has had access to Apple technology, such as the Swift coding, and other opportunities as part of Apple's Community Education Initiative. If you haven't taken a look at what we're doing with Apple, we were, I want to say the first community college, if not one of the first community colleges to offer the Swift coding. We've been doing this for years now, that we've got summer camps for kids. It's easy. It's something you can learn. You can get certified. And believe me, companies are always looking for people who can build them apps. Learn how to do it through HCC. In our social media posts, we'll put a link to all of our programs with Apple. You can also Google on our website. Just go to the website, type in Apple. It'll bring up all of the opportunities we have for you to learn and get certified. Okay, we are about to wrap up the show, Tony, but want to remind everybody, fall enrollment is going on right now. Summer session 2, that's coming up very quickly. You can still enroll for that and enroll for the fall. We've got online classes, we've got hybrid classes, and we've got in-person classes where you can go to a campus, take a class in person with your classmates sitting maybe a little ways away from you. They're very small classes, so make sure you register now at hccs.edu/now. Tomorrow on the show, Tony, we've got a success story.
A student success story, that's right, from our weekend college. He's one of the first graduates from 2018, and we'll get to see how he became very successful from that.
Okay, and it's our fitness guest, Dr. Christopher Segler, a former HCC student. He's also known as Doc on the Run. He's been trying to get us running over the past few months. If you're looking to run, be out and get active outside. Dr. Segler will talk more about that. He's going to be talking about, I believe, running shoes again tomorrow on the show. So all that and more on tomorrow's show. Tony, you're going to be here?
Absolutely. Running to where I need to be.
Tony's going to get her tips. You'll get your tips tomorrow right here live, 10 a.m. up to the minute. See you then.